Hi, welcome to Parsecs.
Hello.
I'm James.
I'm Brock.
This is our Han Solo show. This is all about the Solo, a Star Wars story movie coming out May 25th, 2018. That is just 4 short months from now.
Yeah.
And the trailer dropped.
Never.
Not online or on TV or anywhere that we can watch it, but I'm sure it is phenomenal. Once again, I don't care. Well, I mean, I really want to see it, but I don't care because I'm going to watch the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
As we have a show dedicated to the movie, we're going to watch the movie. But Star Wars Newsnet had some cool information leak or drop or something or other, and we want to talk about it. So, Brock, what information was that?
There are 3 planets confirmed to be in this movie of Han Solo. 2 of them you could probably just guess immediately.
Tatooine, Naboo,
Dantooine, and Onderon.
Oh.
The 3 places are Corellia, Morbin. Oh God, sorry.
Was that Daryl?
Corellia, no. Mimban. I knew I had it wrong. Mimban and Kessel. So yeah, I mean, the first and third is, I think, pretty obvious that was gonna. Well, not obvious, but I feel like, well, we know Han Solo is from Corellia, so why not have the planet in there at some point? I mean, it doesn't. We don't know how much time is gonna be spent on anything. But more interesting, Mimban, which was mentioned in Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and I believe they were almost going to use it in Rogue One, but then Jedha replaced it. So it's like a swampy place, I believe, and it's got some seedy underbelly, so we'll see a lot of that. But did you see the Lego things?
Yes.
Revealing the new stormtroopers, one of them being a Mimbam trooper.
I can't wait to get that added to the shirt.
Exactly. I didn't even... It's amazing. They like reveal stuff through Lego. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. And I don't think it's an accident. I think they know what they're doing.
But there's 2 troopers, the Mimban trooper and something else. It's like, I forget what it's called. If you look up Han Solo Lego, you'll probably see it. There's a picture. Like, I love how, like, somebody's genius where it's like, we just put the characters on the bottom of the box, and there it is. I know I have a picture in here.
The other cool thing about this
like
article
patrol
is,
or something like that?
Yeah, it's like an officer.
No, there's 2 different troopers. One's like, it looks like a normal stormtrooper, but it's like a little slightly white and different coloring and stuff. And
That's
then no. The Mimbam trooper looks like it's from Vietnam or something, like out in the bush shooting things. But anyways, so that's exciting. But then also revealed in that Lego thing was Han Solo in some type of officer garb or something like that, as well as... Oh, what's Harrison Ford? What's Woody Harrelson's name? Beckett. He's also an Imperial. So that's interesting. Or maybe they are sneaking in. Who knows?
Well, if they go with the Legends thing, it's that Han was an Imperial, which everybody forgets about, and Finn is just Han. Let's not forget that. People forget that Han was an Imperial. They're like, Han's backstory is interesting, guys.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. It's interesting. It's going to be a fun movie. Like, get over it. It's happening. I'm just sick of people. I don't need this movie. Well, we don't need any movie.
Nobody cares.
I know. But I'm looking forward to it, obviously. But what I liked about this article as well was it talked about possible plots. And one of them was that it's going to start on Corellia. Now, Bob Iger said... at some point that this is going to span 6 years of Han Solo's young life.
Right.
6, that's a long time for young life. So who knows? He's going to start off as an infant.
Yeah.
He's going to end at 6 years old. Aaron Reich plays a great 6-year-old from what I hear. But anyway, so it's going to start off on Corellia.
Yeah.
Corellia. They have rum, I think, in Bloodline. Leia drinks some Corellia.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
But anyway, but apparently, according to this article, that he could start off as a pod racer.
Ooh, that'd be
which
sweet.
would be amazing. He catches the eye of the Empire. He is then recruited into the Empire, possibly, under Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And they become buddies, and they both decide maybe to leave the Empire at the same time. But what's interesting in this article is there's no Kashyyyk. Kashyyyk's not one of the 3 planets that they named.
Right.
So if he's going to meet Chewie, does he meet Chewie on Kashyyyk? I would assume so. But you should never assume anything.
But there's in that article that Star Wars Net dropped with those planets, there's like, well, maybe the reason he's on Kessel is he's in the spice mines, and that's where he meets Chewbacca.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of cool. I like that.
It's a way to bring new planets to us too. I mean, Kessel's not. All three of them aren't new, but they're new.
Yeah, we've never seen them
Yeah.
in movies. I don't know if they ever go. I'm sure you've gone to them in like video games, or definitely books and stuff like that.
But new to the movie, so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Them, but that I really like that aspect. Here's the thing with the pod racing, is I'm not 100% convinced that they're gonna put pod racing in the movie because of the prequels. I would like it, obviously. We did our Last Jedi roundup, and Rob brought up that instead of the fathier things, he wishes that was pod racing.
Right.
And you were like, I would be to me that I would be happy about it. Pod racing isn't something like, for Last Jedi and Candle Bite. I don't buy pod racing at all. It should have been horses things.
Yeah,
because you would go to the racetrack and watch horses run and stop. It's like, okay, animal rights. Who cares? That's what would be there on that kind of planet. Now, whether or not you like those scenes or not is a different story. But it makes sense to have animals. Like, nobody goes to a car racing and then goes to the casino. Like, the casinos and car tracks aren't together. It's horse racing and that's what makes sense for me. Now, Han Solo and pod racing could make a lot of sense because the Kessel Run obviously looks like it's coming.
Right.
And if it's coming, you need to establish that he can race.
Yeah.
And if he can race, pod racing makes a lot of sense. But do you think we'll see actual pod racing, or will it just be like a car that drives fast?
I don't know. It'd be cool. I don't want to say it because it's like we should just have it in the movie, because I think that's nothing against Rob. I think that's the vibe he sees in the, like, putting pod racing in Last Jedi. It's like, oh, well, like, we need a race, let's put pod racing in. It's like, well, don't put it in there just because you have it. Like, Fathiers makes sense because it works with somewhat of the storyline. I would like it because, as we always say, it's like sometimes the new movies kind of pretend like the prequels didn't happen. So just having that would be great. I mean, though, like in Bloodline, Han goes off and does, he's part of a race circuit. Not pod racing, but, like, why not? Like, put into... I mean, imagine it opens and it's a pod race. And it's all aliens and, like, one racer has his face covered. And that racer wins. And that's how you're introduced to Han. It's like, Han Solo! But my problem with that, too, even though I just posited that idea, is, like, I feel like the movie has to be about how he became notorious. And I think starting it off early... Because that's, if you're going to put pod racing anywhere, I think it'd be in the beginning.
To establish that he can race. He doesn't have to win the race. But the thing with pod racing is it's very fast and very dangerous, and you must have just Jedi reflexes.
Yeah.
So, look, the Force cannot be in this movie. And if the Force is in this movie, it can't, like, Solo can't be exposed to it, obviously. So, if he's going to be that fast, if he's going to be talented enough to be a human pod racer... Does that diminish Anakin Skywalker now in any way?
It makes me envision the scene from the first J.J. Abrams Star Trek where Kirk, as a kid, steals his, like, stepfather's car.
Yeah.
And he, like, almost runs it off. Like, it's something like that. Like, he's good with machines and he takes chances, which is totally Han Solo. So, that'd be great. I'd be all for it. I don't know.
What if he he steals something, gets in a space car, and like pod car, because that's what they were calling them on the set, the pod car.
Pod car. That's
and
right.
let's say he escapes like Imperial troops. He gets around, then he finally gets caught by somebody, and they're like, this kid, he's got something, because maybe it's more illegal than illegal racing, or I mean, pod racing might be illegal in where he's from too.
Yeah. I don't know. I forgot about the pod cars. Maybe that's a way of doing pod racing without actually doing pod racing, because it's like, they can deal with this. Maybe it's the mechanics of the pod racer that's just humans can't figure out. I foresee a lot of chases in this. Like, I mean, that's pretty much what Han Solo does through most of the original trilogy, where he's running from something. For sure. I don't know. Oh man, that'd be amazing. I don't know though. I'm still, as much as I would like it to be him at Imperial background, looking at that Lego thing where they're both in this gear. My guess is maybe they're sneaking in, because I feel like I can't see Woody Harrelson. God, I'm gonna mess that up. Woody Harrelson's character as his like mentor also being an Imperial. It just seems. I'm not saying it couldn't work, but it feels off. You know what I mean? I feel like if they're both there at the same time, it's like ways before. But I get the sense that Mimbam would be like mid. There's too many things that they describe about Mimban that's like, well, you could do a ton of stuff. I don't know. I'm basing it on Legos.
Does it end on Kessel?
I kind of hope not. I kind of hope it's not. I kind of hope there is no Kessel run in this movie. Because I feel like, I mean, if there was a second movie, open it with the Kessel run. But I feel like this movie has to be finding your notoriety, also finding your place in the galaxy. Because at the sense of the description of Han Solo that was put out a couple weeks ago, he's like, he meets Chewbacca and he meets Lando Calrissian. I feel like he's someone looking for his place because he's always running. So maybe he finds family there, but then also that leads to what happens in New Hope, where he's used to running away from people, and that's why it's a big character development in the original movie.
I'm hoping, and I said this on the High Ground a few weeks ago, I'm hoping that there is a moment in this movie that ties into why he returns in A New Hope.
Right.
Like, I'm hoping that he loses something in this.
Right.
And he's like, no, sorry, kid, I'm out of here, or whatever. And he leaves, and then that person just gets blown up. And then at the end, and then in A New Hope, when he comes back, I think, like, I want this movie, just like Rogue One, I want this movie to make a New Hope better.
Yeah.
Like a little fuller. Because like after Rogue One's like, gotta watch New Hope. This one, think about this. So you have that, like a moment like that where all of a sudden it calls back to A New Hope why he returned to help Luke at the trench run. Then you have, and then this can also elevate Empire Strikes Back as well. Because if he's an Imperial or he has some kind of history, because we've heard rumors that Darth Vader will appear in this movie. I don't think a Vader scene like Rogue One would make any sense whatsoever. Yeah. However, Vader does make sense if Han is an Imperial or if he sneaks in as an Imperial, whatever. If there's a scene with it, because I understand if you're like, I don't want to see the rebellion. I kind of get that, but the Empire is the Empire. The Empire can be in this movie. The Empire exists. Han Solo in A New Hope knows the Empire exists. It's not like he doesn't know it exists.
Yeah.
And somebody was saying, well, he never mentions being an Imperial. He doesn't mention a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. You could throw that in there. So if he's an Imperial thing, he could come across Vader, and then the stuff with him and Vader and Empire can be elevated even more because you will see a backstory to what happened. So when he's like Captain Solo, you're like, oh damn, because he knows him because that thing that happened.
Yeah.
And then when he's torturing him, there could be another layer to that torture.
Right.
You know, he's trying to get Luke, but also he's like he just hates this guy. And so like there could be more to what's going on.
Right.
On top of what's going on, which also doesn't diminish Empire Strikes Back in any way.
No. Yeah, we need a trailer.
All right, did a trailer drop?
The trailer drops right now.
Trailer dropped right now.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be ideal because we're sitting right here. But, like, yeah. I'm excited. I'm still floored by, like, what Lego does with these movies now. But, yeah, I'm excited. Corellia, Kessel, that's all good. The Mimbam sounds sweet too. It sounds like Dagobah almost, but like
but with people.
So yeah. Also with the stormtroopers being shown, like okay, so definitely. Well, I don't know. Like, did you ever think that there'd be less Imperial involvement in this movie, or did you see it more as an underbelly thing?
No, because like I just said, the Empire is it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
You know, and like anywhere that this movie's going to take place in the galaxy, there's going to be the Empire. It's going to have a looming threat. Like when you watch Rebels, it's always there.
Yeah.
And he's not a rebel necessarily. Well, he's a rebel, but he's not a rebel.
Yeah.
It has to be there. It has to. So you're going to have your crime syndicates and your underworld, and then you have your Imperial, and then you have everything in the middle where Han obviously is. So I mean, if he's smuggling, who's he smuggling from? Probably the Empire, right?
Yeah.
So it makes, or he might be smuggling from another crime syndicate, which is cool too. Because I think, like I said before, I think that's anyway, the villain isn't going to be, the Empire won't be the villain.
They're just in the background.
Yeah, like they might be chasing him for something, but they won't be the villain. The villain is going to be like a crime boss thing, and that'll be like the first inkling of how he gets into trouble with Jabba.
Yeah,
it won't be connected, but you'll be like, oh, okay, he's such a that's the kind of guy he is, and that's why he gets. We might even see why he gets into trouble with Jabba.
Yeah.
I don't think so, because if this takes place in 6 years, like how close to A New Hope is this movie going to be? I'm hoping like 10, 15 years before.
Well, how old is he supposed to be in A New Hope?
I think 30s, like mid to late 30s. I think.
Yeah, which is doable because like I feel like the movie is like 18 to 24 or something like that.
Yeah, which is fine. But any closer, and all of a sudden you're like, well.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I think now you have an idea for how this movie could end. Do you remember?
Oh yeah, where like he shows up to somewhere, it's dark, and like who's calling this show, and then it just you hear ho 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 ho. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Like that'd be amazing.
I would love it, but that's perfect too, because then if they wanted to do, if somehow, I know Disney says this movie is going to fail, and let's say, well, it's not going to make $1 billion.
Well, yeah,
but they don't need it to. So let's say they're like, yeah, we'll make another Han Solo movie. This time it won't cost us $500 million because we won't fire the director.
Yeah,
that's a place. So then you can establish the Jabba Han Solo chemistry. But you can also do that in books and comics or video games, guys. If you want to make another Star Wars video game, because we have 2 of them in the new era. But like, so you make Han Solo a one-off. That's fine too. But you end it like that, and then you can. We can like people say, I like things left to the imagination, which is cool. So you can still imagine.
Yeah.
You can also flesh it out in the books and novels, which we'll read, but nobody else will care. Like the average fan will be like, oh, that's cool. That's how you met Jabba.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's all it'll be.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, let's wrap this up very quickly. Are we gonna get a trailer? Super Bowl or Olympics?
I don't know at this point. Super Bowl, sure, why not? I at this point just put out a stupid trailer. But
it's funny how it was like excitement, and now it's like,
yeah.
But I Super Bowl, I know it makes a lot of sense. I think the Winter Olympics, they did it with the Summer Olympics, which is a lot bigger, especially in America. But you do the Winter Olympics because you got your Black Panther movie, which is apparently amazing. Yeah. And it's making a lot of money in pre-sales. Yeah. And if you attach it to that, see, this is why I think not attaching it to The Last Jedi made a lot of sense. Because when we saw the fan event, they're like, you get bonus footage.
Yeah.
And I was like, I said to Aaron as it was starting, I'm like, we might get something for Solo, like a montage. Because I thought it'd be cool if you did a 40-year montage, and at the very end you showed a little bit of Solo footage. But instead we got the John Williams thing. And it didn't hit me until a little while later where I realized, no, they want you to experience The Last Jedi. And what we got was a John Williams thing about scoring Star Wars and The Last Jedi. They wanted you to watch The Last Jedi, appreciate The Last Jedi if you could. If you couldn't, that's another thing. But they isolated it, and they don't want... Because if a Solo trailer came out before The Last Jedi, and you were... Like, it might take... Like, you'd be like, oh my god, Han Solo! And then it starts, and then it takes away. And then if you hate The Last Jedi, you'll be like, I don't care about Han Solo. So now, I think the Winter Olympics is a great time because you pick... Because where are they? They're far... The time zone is crazy. So it's on NBC, I imagine, in America.
Yeah.
Because NBC... butchers it every year. I love you. I'm just joking. But they do like their prime time slot.
Yeah. Yeah, when everyone will be watching.
That's what they did last time. They did Michael Phelps. I don't know who's big in the winter for them this year. Figure skating. Throwing in figure skating. Everybody loves the figure skating. And Canada's going to... Our flag bearers are figure skaters.
What's that guy's name that's like a fast speed skater? Like, not Hope Solo. That's a soccer player.
That is a soccer goalie.
But you know what I mean? He has a weird name like that. But yeah, that's...
But anyway, prime time.
Exactly.
Bob Costas.
Costas.
All right, guys. This has been Parsecs. Thanks for watching. I'm James. This is
Brock.
And we'll be back later tonight for episode 79 of the Scum podcast, where we're talking...
Star Wars.
See you guys. May the force of others be with you.
Scum. Oh, wait. That's the wrong one.
Hey scumbags, thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up on our video. As always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel Rebel Scum Podcast for all the latest videos.